Good morning, class 12 students. This is the third part of the chapter, The Tiger King. So, before we move on to our today's session, let's discuss the portion that we covered in the last video. Right? The story, The Tiger King, written by Kalki, is actually a satire on on the arrogance of those who are in power, and the story takes us to when the king rule was very common, and also the involvement of British and the East India Company in India, right? And so what happened in the beginning of the story, the Tiger King, who happens to be a hero of the story, and his name is he is the Maharaja of Pratibandrampuram, and he's also known as Highness and Jamidar and all other acronyms and other names, right? But he's often known as the Tiger King. So how does he, what made him? How did he, uh, what gave him the name the Tiger King? What was the circumstances that he was given the name the Tiger King? So in the last two lectures, we came to find out that when he was 10 days old, he actually asked very reasonable and logical questions to the astrologers, who predicted that he would die soon and he would be killed by a tiger, right? And that time he spoke, the tigers be aware, right? And everyone was surprised because he was 10 days old and he speak, the royal child, he spoke, right? And and after that, when he started growing up, he was given the English atmosphere. I mean, he was given the white cow's milk. He was given an English tutor, right? An English nanny. He watched English more films, right? Because it is very important for the king of those times to know English, so that they could actually communicate with the British, right? Because they were actually we see the involvement of British people and the British in those times. So the king was given this English atmosphere, and what happened when he grew up, when he turned 20, he was crowned as king, because that time he was a minor. So the kingdom was in the custody of East India Company, right? The court of ward. So when he turned 20, when he became major, he was crowned as a king, and the prediction of his death, right, it surfaced again. And the king decided that he would kill the tiger, and he would he would fail the prophecy of the astrologers. So he went on a hunting, he killed the tiger, and he brought the tiger's carcass in his coat, and he called the state astrologer, and he showed this to the astrologer, and the astrologer said that, sir, you may be able to kill one, 10, or maybe even the 99th tiger, but remember, you will be killed by the 100th tiger, right? And he vowed, and he was so sure that if this does not have, if he says, if it did not happen, he would cut his turf, he would burn all his books on astrology, and what will happen, he will become an insurance agent, from the astrologers, right? So this was actually the portion we covered in the last two video. And since then, the king, he was completely he set out to kill or all the tigers. He wanted to kill all 100 tiger. And this is, we find, very absurd, right, and very stupid, because I don't want to comment on whether the astrology, whether we should believe on astrology or not, because it is a debatable topic. Everyone has their own take on, right? So as per this chapter, let's find out what happened, right? So after that, the king decided that he would ban the hunting of tiger for for any other, right, except him, and nobody would even allow to throw a stone at the tiger. So now it's time for us to pick the remaining portion of the chapter. So I will be highlighting the paragraph for you so that you could actually keep the track of the chapter. and where we are reading. So the Maharaja vowed he would attend all other matters only after killing the 100 tigers. Initially, the king seemed well set to realize his ambition, right? So he vowed, he took an oath that he would attend all other matters related to his court and related to his subject. Uh, once he has killed 100 tiger. So this is again we such these are not the qualities we see in the good king, right? Because the king always give priority to his subject and to the matters, but the king seems selfish here, and he just he's in a rage to kill 100 tigers. Not that he faced, and he did face dangers. There were times when the bullet missed its mark and the tiger was about to hurt him or kill him, but he managed to kill the beast, and all this every time he won. At another time, he was in danger of losing his throne. A high-ranking British officer visited Pratibandram, Pratibandhapuram. See, children, in India, yes, we did see the involvement of British. I mean, they were involved and they tried to, control over us. And when the king rule were very popular, was popular in India. So the Indian king, they actually, they were actually they were scared of most of them, not every one of them. They were scared of, of the British officials, right? So we see this, the impact of British officers' rule here in this part, in this paragraph, because this Tiger King, he also faced a danger of losing his throne. And how did he face this danger? Let's find out. As you are aware that he has already banned the hunting of tiger in his state, right? So what happened when a high ranking British officer visited his kingdom, Pratibandhapuram, right? This British officer, he was fond of hunting tigers and fonder of being photographed with a tiger he had shot. So this British officer, he, the tiger hunting was very common, which was wrong in those times. So this British officer, he wanted to hunt a tiger, and he actually being photographed with the tiger's carcass, right, which he had shot. So as usual, he wished to hunt tigers in Pratibandhapuram. So he wished that he wanted to, he wanted to hunt the tiger in Tiger King's kingdom. But what happened? But Maharaja was firm in his resolve, in his decision. Resolve means decision. He refused permission, so he did not give any permission to the British officer that no, you will not be allowed to hunt any tiger in the jurisdiction of Pratibandhapuram. So I can organize any other hunt. You may go on a boar hunt. Boar is actually the wild pig. You may conduct a mouse hunt. We are ready for a mosquito hunt, but tiger hunt, that's impossible, right? So this paragraph actually shows that the king was so determined to kill 100 tiger that he even denied the permission of the request of British officers, right? He said that he could arrange a different hunt for him, but not the tiger hunt. The British officer's secretary sent word to the Maharaja through the Diwan that the Durai is actually the Tamil word. It is actually the Tamil word which is used for the chief or the leader, that not to have to kill the tiger. So the word was sent that he was not allowed to kill the tiger. The Maharaja could do the actual killing. What was important to the Durai was a photograph of himself holding the gun and standing over the tiger's carcass. But Maharaja would not agree even to do this proposal. If he relented now, what would he do if other British officer turned up for tiger hunts? So this is the situation that he came across when the word was sent to the British officer. And the British officer's secretary, he sent a message to the Maharaja that the British officer, he just want to kill the tiger. And he doesn't actually want to kill the tiger, because his priority is to get photographed with the killed tiger, right? So he gave this freedom to the king that he could kill the tiger, and he only wanted to get himself photographed with the carcass of a tiger. but the king, the Tiger King, he did not even agree to this proposal. Why? Because if he would relax his decision, and this will attract the other officials, to come to his kingdom, in order to fulfill the hunting of tiger. So that is why he did not cut any slack, right? So because he prevented a British officer from fulfilling his desire, the Maharaja stood in danger of losing his kingdom itself. And it was actually a very brave decision, because this could have led to a situation where the king, could have lost his kingdom, right? So the Maharaja and the Diwan held deliberations. Deliberations means discussions over the issue. So the Maharaja and the Diwan, they discussed, they thought, and as a result, a telegram was dispatched means sent forthwith to a famous British company of jewelers in Calcutta, sent samples of expensive diamond rings of different designs. So the king, because obviously, because now he's in a danger of losing his kingdom, because he has denied the request of a British officer, right? And there can be consequences. So the king and the Diwan, they came to this conclusion. So they telegrammed the very famous and expensive diamond jewelry shop in Calcutta, and they asked for all expensive diamonds and designs, right? Some 50 rings arrived. The Maharaja sent whole lot to the British officer's good lady. The king and the minister expected the Durai Seni is actually the chief lady, right? Tamil word, to choose one or two rings and send the rest back. So the king, in order to save his kingdom and to please the British officer whom he denied, he sent all the jewelry design, all the diamond designs, rings designs, to the to the half lady of the British officers, right? I mean, to the wife of British officers, and he wrote that she can pick one or two ring, and she was asked to return the rest of them, right? So within no time at all, the Durai Seni sent her reply, "Thank you very much for your gifts." And this lady, the British officer's lady, she accepted all. I mean, she was supposed to select two, but she was so greedy that she actually kept all the jewelry, right? So you can actually see that how greedy they were, right? And that's how the king was actually at loss. So in a 2 days of a bill for 3 lakh of rupees came from the British jewelers. And how much the king had to pay? The king had to pay 3 lakh for those jewelries, and the Maharaja was happy that though he had lost 3 lakh of rupees, he had managed to retain his kingdom. Hold back, retain means to hold back. And that's how the Tiger King, the Maharaja, saved his kingdom, right, from the danger of losing it. Now the fourth part is, the Maharaja's tiger hunt continued to be highly successful, and he kept on his mission. He did not stop hunting tiger, and within 10 years he was able to kill 70 tigers. How many tigers he has killed? He has killed 70 tigers. And then an unforeseen hurdle. Hurdle is actually an obstacle, something that prevent you from getting your or achieving your goals. So a hurdle came, and what was the mission? The mission to a standstill. Standstill means a stoppage. His tiger hunt came to a halt. It stopped. Why did it stop? Let's find out. The tiger population became extinct in the forest of Pratibandhapuram. Who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control or committed uh, harakiri? Harakiri is actually, it is a Japanese word. It is a Japanese word, harakiri, right? So it is actually a humorous part here, where we see the situation. Why did the tiger hunting came to a stoppage? Because the population of tiger, it actually the tiger became in simple words, the tiger became extinct in the kingdom of Pratibandhapuram, right? So this is actually happens, right? The species, they become endangered species when they are hunt, when they are poached, when they are used, the rhinos and all that, right? So that is why it is said that you must protect the species, you should not kill them. The blue whales, they were hunted, right? Overfishing and all that. So you can actually this chapter also uh, instigate us to think about the other species too, and the consequences. I think it's very important for us to actually try to protect them and understand from the chapter that it is not right to kill uh, you know uh, the wild animals without any purpose, and just by just so you know that the prophecy is against you and all, right? So uh, why did the population of tigers become extinct? Maybe the writer said maybe they practiced birth control. This is very funny. Or they committed harakiri. It's a Japanese word which means to commit suicide, right, in Japan. Or simply ran away from the state because they desire to be shot by the British hands alone. And this is again funny. Or he said that maybe they ran away because they did not want to be killed by the king, and they moved to the other state, which is not possible because in those times the tiger killing were very common. People shot tiger for their fun and all, right? So there was no escape. Even if they could have escaped the Pratibandampuram kingdom, they would be killed and hunted down by the other state's king or the British officers, right? So one day the Maharaja sent for the Diwan. The Diwan Sahib, aren't you aware of the fact that 30 tigers still remain to be shot down by this gun of mine? He asked, brandishing his gun, right? So the king seems very, he's disappointed, right? And he is waving his gun as a threat to his to his divan, and he mentioned and he highlight that I still have to kill 30 tigers. And where are those 30 tigers? Shuddering means trembling with fear. The sight of the gun, the divan cried out, your majesty, I am not a tiger, right? So divan is actually scared, and he said, sir, mercy. So which idiot would call you a tiger? No, I am not a gun. You are neither tiger nor gun, Diwan Sahib. I summon means call you here for a different purpose. I have decided to get married. And Diwan thought that the king was so disappointed that he was about to kill him, but the king did not want to kill him. The king has the king had this idea in his mind that he wanted to get married. And now the question is that why does he want to get married at this point? So let's find out. The divan began to babble means when you start speaking, and the words that come out of your mouth are unclear, right? So the divan said, sir, you already had 2 wives, why do you want to marry? So uh, I have 2 wives already. If I marry you, don't talk nonsense. Why should I marry you? What I want is a tiger, right? So the important and the crux of this paragraph is that the tiger king has decided to marry because, let's find out. Your majesty, please think it over. Your ancestors were married to the sword. If you like marry the gun, the tiger king is more than enough for this state. It doesn't need a tiger queen as well. The Maharaja gave a loud crack of laughter. I am not thinking of marrying either a tiger or a gun, but a girl from ranks of human beings. First, you may draw up statistics of tiger population in the different native states. Next, the family of a state with a large tiger of population, right? So the tiger king, he told his because the minister, the divan, was very confused, and he started speaking in a very silly manner, because the king already had 2 wives, and the minister, if the minister married the king, the king interrupted, and he scolded him that why are you speaking nonsense, why would I marry you, right? He had a no reason to marry the minister, and he did, obviously. And he said that he wanted a tiger. So then writer again creates humor here. The minister told that why do you want to marry a gun or a tiger? This is actually the humorous part used by the author, by the writer of the chapter, Kalki. But the minister, the king actually clarified that actually he is looking for a kingdom with ample number of tigers so that he could marry the woman, the marry she who would marry, and he will take over the property, right? and I mean he will not take over the property. He would marry the king, and he would he then it means he had access to that kingdom, and if he has access to that kingdom, he can also kill the tiger of that particular kingdom, right? So the Diwan followed his orders. He found the right girl from a state which possessed a large number of tiger. Possess means to have in your right. So the Diwan, he searched and he found uh, a girl with large number of tigers population. So Maharaja Jang Bahadur, he killed 5 or 6 tigers each time he visited his father-in-law. In this manner, 99 tiger skins adorned the walls of the reception hall in Pratibandhampuram. This is actually very bad, right? So the Tiger King has managed to kill how many tigers? The Tiger King has managed to kill the 100 tigers now. Sorry, the 99 tigers. He has killed 99 tigers, and you could actually see the skin of the, adorn means to beautify this. Now this skin of the tigers, it is actually beautifying the walls of the reception of the hall in Pratibandhampuram in Tiger King's palace. So that's how he managed to kill 99 tiger, right? He married a woman whose state has a large number, a good amount of tigers population. That is why he decided to marry. So the Tiger King is actually cunning in a lot of ways, initially, because he's, self-centered, you can say, because in the beginning he banned the tiger hunting. He prevented the British officer from hunting the tiger, and then when he found the tiger was running out, he decided to marry the new the new woman, or the new queen, where the in which the queen that comes from a kingdom where the population of tiger is too much, or enough, right? So that's how he fulfilled, and that's how he managed to kill 99 tigers. So children, that's all for today's session. We will be discussing the remaining part of the chapter in the fourth part of the video. Please do look for your homework, complete it, submit it on time. Do watch the video from beginning to end, because we cover each and every word. So it is important that you pay attention, because in your board examination you are, yes, obviously you will have lots of MCQs. So for MCQs you cannot just rely on summary, because you need to understand each and every word. You understand the concept, you need to understand every situation, every name and all. Understand? That's all for today. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.